I will not leave this parking lot until I cross the mighty Mississippi River on foot today. We are waking up at the boat launch today. You ate your breakfast. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Northern Clearwater County in northwestern Minnesota. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
Mark my words, we will cross the mighty Mississippi on foot today. No matter what lies ahead of us, no matter what challenges, today is the day for crossing the mighty Mississippi. Hi. I do, yeah. I was just wondering, do you have any electric campsites open for your books? Okay. So it is kind of like too bad that there aren't sites available, but I was prepared for that and I was willing to take that risk because I do not want to have a repeat of the last time. So we just got into the Mississippi Headwaters Center. As a kid, I just couldn't get through my head that the Mississippi River started in Minnesota. Teachers would tell me that, but I couldn't get it through my head because in my child mind, it was in Mississippi, period. Minnesota, that didn't make any sense, but here we are. Guys, we reached the Headwaters and there are tons of people and I would have to be like filming a bunch of kids and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna have to come back a little bit later. And also there's dogs there and Parker's barking his head off. I wanted to say that I wanted to thank you all for your amazing support on my video that came out. It was a real creative risk, but I've just been so touched by the outpour of support and kind words and affirmation. And I really want to thank you all for all of your support. It really makes doing all of this worth it. I wanted to be a writer growing up, and I just always had this need to create. And as an adult in different jobs, that was never fulfilled, obviously. And so now it hasn't gone away, it's still there. Not being able to channel that creative energy, it manifested itself in a lot of really unhealthy behaviors. And so I just feel so grateful that I have, a profitable activity that I can pour my heart and my time into. It just makes life worth living. Minnesota's not bad, guys. It's really not. At least not yet. Yes, winter will come. I'm trying to block that out of my head. I don't know what's gonna happen. Do not know. Should we go check it out, bud? Let's go see the homestead. Whoa, it scared me. Oh my gosh. Oh, that scared me so bad. Reading about the hardships that people face on this frontier, and it really makes me think about the current trends like in homesteading. I say this very delicately, but in spite of the challenges and the hardships and heartbreaks and tragedies faced by people on the frontier, I also wonder if in our modern lives, if we haven't swung so far to the opposite extreme that it's leading us down an unhealthy path. And it makes me wonder with these current trends like homesteading or even van life or car life, and I realize that we all have different circumstances, people have different circumstances why they're out there, but I do sort of wonder if we are coming back to this almost healthier version of ourselves in some cases. That's given me some ideas though. Talking earlier about how I wasn't sure what I was going to do this winter, but this is actually just kind of an invitation. Maybe this winter be an invitation to stretch some of those muscles. I mean, not like in a dangerous way, but maybe this is what God has for me to do. Maybe he wants me to try to challenge myself a little bit and not just be thinking, okay, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? How am I going to get a break? Because at my job, we have a new thing where we can't take a month off anymore. They're like cracking down on it, and you can only take like just a lot less time off now. So I'm like, well, how am I going to go film like in the Ozarks, or how am I going to go on these trips? But I mean, maybe this is God saying like, no, like maybe I'm supposed to try and stretch myself like where I am. It's a little bit scary when I think about it. It doesn't sound very fun, but if it's what I'm supposed to be doing, then I guess I'm just gonna have to do it. Parker, are you tired? Are you hungry? You want cheese? Alright, we're gonna cook in the parking lot because don't worry guys, I am not giving up. Like, I am not leaving. I am being true. I am not leaving this parking lot until I cross the mighty Mississippi River. Even if there is a huge hailstorm that comes through here and I have to go boondock, if I have to go hide my car somewhere, I don't care where. If I have to go hide my car behind like a bear canister, I will be here at dawn crossing. But I think we're not going to have to do that. I think after we eat, the weather will clear up and we will accomplish this. We will. It's not the healthiest, but it's actually good. I'm a little bit apprehensive about the quality of my meat. It's a hamburger patty. Okay, it's fine. I brought it frozen and then I put it in my cooler with a bunch of these. So this looks just fine. Since recovering from being sick, I don't know what it is, but it's like I just want like hamburgers. People will ask me at times where I get the items that I use, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put, just so I don't have to like talk about it here, I'm just gonna go ahead and just put this stuff in the description box. Yeah, but since I've been sick and I have been eating hamburgers, I mean, I'm like fully recovered. I feel like I'm fully recovered from being sick, but I still am like obsessed with hamburgers for some reason. But there's like a certain way, like I can't just eat a hamburger. Like I can't just like go to a fast food restaurant. Oh, no, like it has to be like a very specific format. So first of all, it must have red onions. Just categorically red onions. That's it. It must have like vine tomatoes, and it must have like a green spinach mix. But that's not all. It must have cheese on it, but there's only one kind of cheese that's allowed at this point. It must be pepper jack cheese. Oh yeah, that's looking good. It must be on a sweet Hawaiian bun. No exceptions are allowed, and nothing else is allowed on this burger. I don't care what else you guys like on my burger. That's it. Tell us below what you like to put on your burgers. Look at that. I had just about given up on eating hamburgers just for, I don't know, I guess health reasons. Whoa, I had just about given up, and then now it's like this total, ever since I've been recovering, it's just been this like renaissance of a hamburger. It's so good. That is absolutely perfect. You could not pay me to go out to eat when I could make this. So good, so good. Excited. When I talk to my dad, I'm excited to tell him what I did today. I'm excited to tell him. If he says, so what'd you do today? What's new? I can tell him, well, I crossed the Mississippi on foot. So I'm glad I did that. Maybe state parks aren't that bad after all. Yeah, I think I'm having a change of heart about state parks. All right, everybody, I am at the trailhead. I see the overexposure is really bad. I am sorry about that. Parker's panting a little bit because we went on a little hike. I just want to do sort of like a recap on where I stand with the state park camping situation, and this is where I stand with it. I feel like I am probably not going to be making reservations in the future unless it's a very special event, unless I have a very special mission, or I'm just camping with friends, because sometimes like that does happen from work. I mean, people do get together and they do go camping. At this point, I really think that booking a campsite, it is a little bit risky. Like this one, for example, is $25 for a non-electric site, and I'm not in any way like saying that's unreasonable. I realize that a ton of work goes into maintaining a place like this, and so I'm not saying like it's not worth paying that, or like I shouldn't be paying that. I'm not in any way saying that. But if I had an RV or something that required hookups, I think it would make a little bit more sense. Or if I were like on the road full time and I needed like a shower, I needed trash. And as much as I enjoy being in the park, I feel like I'm ready to actually leave the park. And I will say this, if I were to book a site, I really feel like it would be optimal to do this for more than one night. Because when you like book a site, like, you know, you get in like at 3, 4, or whenever you can, a lot of the time, you know, you're getting set up and you're kind of like checking out your surroundings. And then by the time you realize it, unless you're like, I'm a night owl, so I'm not going to be falling asleep early anytime. So for me, I really don't have the advantage of the next day. So I think that if I ever were to book a campsite, it would actually be for like a 2-day thing. After coming to this park, I feel like this was a very, like Itasca State Park, I feel like this was a very quality park. Like this, like coming here today really makes me like super happy that I purchased my Minnesota State Park pass. And I would encourage you, I don't know what state you are in, but I would encourage you to look into that, because there's so much that you can do within like the park. I mean, I can't talk about like all different kinds of parks, but I am just really blown out of the water today. I'm more like blown in the water, but I am truly amazed by the quality of this park. I'm just, it does make it kind of like whet my appetite, so to speak, to check out other parks. I'm gonna end the video here because I really think this is gonna be a boring night. I think it's gonna be kind of like last night at the boat launch. If anything exciting happens, I will mention it in a subsequent video. But I do want to thank you. Bloopers are coming up. I was a little silly today. So as always, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye. So we're gonna go ahead and cook dinner in the parking lot of the Headland. Why do I keep saying Headlands? Oh my goodness! Not Headlands! What is it called again? Forgot what it was called. It's not the Headlands though. Once and for all. Headwaters. Okay, Claire, let's talk to our childhood self. Do you remember when you used to confuse Phoenix and Detroit, and you used Phoenix and Detroit interchangeably? That did not work, okay? It's the same situation. There's headlands and there's headwaters, okay? Phoenix is to headlands as Detroit is to headwaters, okay? So every time you want to say headlands, you have to think about Phoenix. And remember that Phoenix is not the same as Detroit. So you can remember to say headwaters. Okay, so anyway, we are back in Detroit.